The government says inflation is 2.4%. Cool. Beef is up 14%. Home health care is up 15%. Candy, which yes, is an economic indicator now, is up almost 12%. But sure, 2.4%. Totally believable. Today we're breaking down the February Consumer Price Index report, a March energy price spike that almost nobody is talking about yet, and what all of it means for your grocery bill, your gas tank, your family's financial decisions, and what you can actually do about it. Let's start with the headline number. The February CPI came in at 2.4% year over year. Core inflation, which strips out food and energy because apparently those don't count, came in at 2.5%. Both hit expectations. Markets shrugged. Analysts moved on. But here's the part that matters to you and me. 7 out of 10 categories in the CPI basket are running above the Federal Reserve's 2% inflation target. Let me say that again. 7 out of 10. The overall number looks calm, partly because housing costs, which carry the most weight in the index, were actually understated due to a government shutdown affecting how that data was collected. So the headline number is a little softer than reality already. Now let's talk about what's actually going up. Daycare is up 3.7%. Furniture is up 3.9%. Eating out up 3.9%. Medical care 4.1%. Movie tickets 5.5%. Airfare 7.1%. Candy 11.6%. Beef 14.4%. And home health care, the services that help elderly and disabled family members live independently, up 15%. Now, a number like 15% might sound abstract until you're the adult child helping to pay for a parent's in-home care, or you're the caregiver who just got the new invoice. These aren't minor line items. These are the costs that eat into real household budgets in ways that a 2.4% headline number completely obscures. And here's the thing about inflation that always gets lost in the news coverage. Even when the rate slows down, prices don't go backward. They just go up more slowly. Everything that got more expensive over the last 3 years, still more expensive. Your paycheck has to stretch further just to stay even. That's not a news story anymore, but it is still your life. Now, let's talk about the energy situation, because this is where things get interesting for March and beyond. The February CPI reflects February prices, but right now, in March, gasoline has jumped significantly. The national average was sitting around $2.94 a gallon just a month ago. As of this report, it's at $3.58. That's a 16% increase year over year. And diesel went from $3.67 last year to $4.83 now. That's a 33% jump. Why does diesel matter to you even if you drive a regular car? Because diesel is what moves everything. It powers the trucks that deliver food to grocery stores. It powers the machinery that harvests crops. It powers the shipping containers that bring goods from ports to warehouses to shelves. When diesel goes up 33%, it's not just truckers feeling it, it's everybody downstream. That's you at the checkout line, whether you realize it or not. The driver behind this spike is geopolitical. Supply disruptions tied to tensions in key energy-producing regions. Businesses don't immediately pass all their higher costs to consumers. There's a lag. So the March CPI report coming out next month will show some of this. If the disruptions continue into April, the April report could be uglier. Which brings us to the Federal Reserve. Before the February CPI dropped, there was already a 99.4% probability that the Fed would hold rates steady at their March meeting. After the report, still 99.4%. No change, not even a whisper of a cut. For June, which would be the first realistic window for a rate cut, the probability of no cut actually went up after the report from 60.7% to 63.9%. That means markets are becoming less confident a cut is coming, not more. The Fed is stuck in a difficult position. On one side, inflation is still above target in most categories, and cutting rates now could pour gasoline on those already burning prices. On the other side, there are real pressures pulling toward cuts, a softening job market, banks holding bond portfolios that lost value when rates went up, commercial real estate in serious distress, and the federal government paying over $1 trillion a year just in interest on the national debt. Lower rates ease all of those problems, but they also risk reigniting inflation. This is what economists call a stagflation risk, the uncomfortable combination of rising prices and slowing growth. It's a scenario where there's no good option. If we cut rates, inflation gets worse. Hold rates steady and the economy comes to a crawl. We're not there yet, but the warning signs are worth paying attention to. So, what do you actually do with all of this? In the short term, if you drive regularly, this is a smart moment to review your weekly gas budget and adjust. Consolidate trips. Carpool when you can. And if you use home health services for a family member, start having a conversation now about what a 15% annual increase looks like over the next year or two, because honestly, it won't reverse on its own. For your grocery budget, protein is where the pain is sharpest right now. Beef in particular is, well, eye-watering. This is a good time to explore alternative proteins, chicken, eggs, legumes, canned fish, without treating it like deprivation. It's smart substitution. For the medium and long term, if you're carrying variable rate debt, credit cards, certain personal loans, adjustable rate mortgages, the Fed holding rates high means you're still paying peak interest. Every dollar you can put toward that debt right now is a guaranteed return. There's no investment that beats eliminating 20% credit card interest. And if you've been waiting for rates to drop before refinancing or making a major purchase, have a backup plan. The June cut that everyone assumed was coming is looking less certain. Don't build a financial strategy on a rate cut that may not happen. Finally, this is a good moment to stress test your budget, not in a dramatic way. Just ask yourself, if gas goes up another 20 cents a gallon and stays there for 6 months, what does that do to my monthly expenses? If groceries go up another 5%, where does that money come from? The families that weather these periods best aren't the ones who predicted everything correctly. They're the ones who built a little margin into their finances before they needed it. If you found this even slightly more useful than staring at your gas receipt and crying, go ahead and hit subscribe. It's free. Your financial future? Not so much. Drop a comment below. Which of these inflation categories hit your household hardest? I read every single one. I've been Kevin with MoneyTreeandme, providing better security and ensuring better lives. Make it a great day.